As many of you may know, I am a local person, born and bred in or close to Downham Market, and this is where I've spent all my working life. In my early years, Downham had a population of some 4,000 people. I read in the paper yesterday that we now have 11,000. I think that's a bit low. I think we're a bit more than 11,000. Quite a change over a few years. I'm only young yet, you see. History tells us that Downham Market owes a large part of its success to the local waterways. It got its position on the map because of a crossing of the river Great Ouse, which was used very much as a communications point between our town and the rest of the world. The use of the Great Ouse as a transport facility, particularly for local products such as butter, to cities such as Cambridge and then onwards to London. We also have another nautical connection, allegedly. Lord Nelson apparently went to school in Downham Market, and it is said by some that he actually used to make little model boats which he would sail on the gullies around the town. I don't know. I did say allegedly, and I will still stick with the allegedly, but it's a nice idea, isn't it? It gives us some importance. I went to school in the town, and I can recollect with great pride that I was looking through a geography book one day, not something that I was very keen to do, I have to admit, but I was looking through a geography book and I came across a photograph. The photograph was of Denver Sluice. Now I'm talking about when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, and a photograph of Denver Sluice, which I knew was something special when you consider that this is a little boy in a small town, and there in a nationally published geography textbook was a picture of something that I knew. And that was probably the first introduction or realization that there was something rather special about this area. I also recollect the floods of 1953, so I'm not quite as young as you thought I was. I was fortunate. We lived on the High Land in the High Street in Downham at that time. So we weren't directly affected, i.e. we didn't get our feet wet. But there were many villages, certainly out to the west, that did get very, very seriously affected. And I also remember that before 1953, as you went over the railway station, the railway line, you came to a little bridge over, I guess you would call it a stream. We used to call it the Little Ouse, but I don't believe that was the proper name. I think the proper name was St. John's Eau, or O, or something. It's a French word, and I don't do French, but St. John's Eau, I believe that's what it was called. And we used to love going down there, paddling in the stream and so on. After 1953, after the floods, then that bridge disappeared, the little stream disappeared, and we now have the relief channel in its place, almost exactly the same line, same place. How things have changed, but obviously to the better, because we haven't had a major flood in this area since 1953 or since the relief channel was put there, so perhaps it was good. These are just a few memories of me, a local lad. They're possibly a little bit corrupted by time because, as you're probably aware, as you get older, the memory does fade a little bit, but I like to think of them as my memories of Downham Market, or some of my memories of Downham Market. So I hope you have a good conference and you learn something far more than I can tell you today, and I hope that you have a very productive day. Best wishes for your conference.